Read-alouds involving sets of texts that are thematically and conceptually related support children's literacy learning.
So today we're talking about interactive read-aloud and how we've been using that in our classrooms, and how we've become more specific in our read-alouds this year as grade levels, and how we can make sure that we're meeting the standards that we need to for, in this particular case, the next generation science standards that Michigan has adapted, and how we would use those.
We've been really working on developing these text sets so that kids not only develop their vocabulary, but they deepen their conceptual knowledge over time. So they're hearing many different read-alouds, and these read-alouds build upon each other, and they have many opportunities to hear the words, use the words, and possibly in interactive writing, write the words.
Our unit is about light and sound. The whole initial part of the unit focuses on light, and we chose texts that we thought initially were fairly basic and simple. If you look here, you can see that there isn't a ton of text per page, because nonfiction books, as you know, are trickier than fiction books, but it still gives them the opportunity to experience the word with nice visuals. You want them to have the good visuals. This was one of our introductory books that we used, and then we had books that became more complex. This was initially a book we thought we were going to teach at first, and then we realized that the understandings were just a little bit more complex, and so we were going to start it with a simpler text and move to a more complex text as their understanding improved.
We did something very similar in kindergarten. And very early in our unit, which is It Living?, we read this book, The Tiny Seed by Eric Carle, which might not occur at first to people to put in a text set because it is a narrative or a fictional story, but it's very engaging and a good way to get kids interested in a unit. Also, many children at the kindergarten level are familiar with Eric Carle. So we read this to introduce in the unit, and it talks about a seed and sort of what happens to some of the seeds throughout the book and how they don't grow into plants, and then what does happen to this very tiny seed.
Thinking about order is important.
Mm-hmm.
The order that
we
you
plan
teach.
out the order and whether we would teach something within a lesson or whether we would teach it between. So we have a couple books that we chose for between lessons too, if we wanted them to have some more experience with a concept or idea before we introduced a vocabulary word.
In second grade, our topic is Earth, Land, and Water, and so we're introducing students to different landforms and bodies of water, and exactly like you were talking about in kindergarten, we started and in first grade, we started simple, made sure that students were noticing text features and introducing vocabulary. The real photographs helped immensely for them to relate to things that they may not know what they mean, and then became more complex. We did include narrative books as well, and then in addition to just having a couple supplemental books at second grade, we have a bin of books that were available that they could choose during their independent reading time to research further.
Something I think we do really well here that we've been working on is making sure that we're communicating not just in our grade level but across grade levels, and making sure that we have text sets that support all our different curricula.
It really made a difference and was impactful for our students.
Learn more at literacyessentials.org.